I live on the 40th floor, and 40 floors down is where Pakistan cricket team lives now. Which is, as Atif Mia said it, Pakistan cricket team had never been lower in the last 50 years. I am not surprised where we stand today. How are you? And this is Amal. I'll let follow on with Hamza Tariq.
Amers continues to impress us all with his intros, but the mood is a little bit down here at the follow on today. It's been a shambolic recent few days with the Pakistan versus England test match concluding, and we've lost with an innings and 103 runs. So yeah, we welcome you all as we unpack the first test match and discuss what went wrong. But I think everything went wrong, so we don't really know what to say or what to how to sort of break this down. But let's give it our best shot.
Yeah, I just want to start with how we feel, right? For example, I just don't feel the same emotions, or I don't feel the same level of disappointment or sadness like I used to. Because I feel like I have been used to mediocrity, I have been used to not having the team that puts in any effort for so long that now it feels like, oh, that's the new normal, right? It's like wearing a mask in COVID, that, yeah, this is what you have to do now.
Yeah.
And it's just so disappointing for someone who has to come here and talk about it, because otherwise I wouldn't be talking about it. But like someone who also has to watch the matches, has to listen to some sort of analysis, has to watch some level of highlights and stuff like that, to know that this team is just going below and below. And I want to start with a very big question. Do you think this is the worst team we have had in our life? And I don't mean in terms of did we pick the right people or did we not pick the right people, but on merit, do you think this is the worst team we have had?
Honestly, I think in terms of the quality or the caliber of the test cricket that we're playing, yes, there's a big shot to be made that this is like one of the worst ones that we've ever had. In terms of have I ever felt down, more low than what I'm feeling right now as a cricket fan? Perhaps maybe right after the 2010 match fixing scandal. I think that was one of the lowest points in our history.
Yes, but that was more. It has less to do with.
Yeah, that was more of an extrinsic thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, but in terms of just looking on paper or on ground how our test team is playing, this is perhaps like you said, the lowest point in our lifetime, which is like watching 15 years of 16, 17 years of cricket.
Exactly. And like, let's break it down, right? For example, now we technically, now I was thinking about that, like, who are the players that we can even bring in? Like, for example, every now and then you talk about, okay, so this is not the best team. This is not the best team. Let's bring this X guy in. Maybe he is the best guy that can solve our problems, and Y guy to play this, to do that. But right now, I feel like we don't have anyone. Like, if you tell me, okay, replace this 11 people with other 11 people, I don't know those 11 people.
Absolutely right. Like I was reading this quote from I think Behram or someone along those lines, and the worst thing about today's this week's loss was not that we lost by an innings, right? The worst thing was that this was perhaps probably the best 11 we could have picked for the test match. Like we didn't make a blunder per se, right? Of the squad or of the players that were at disposal. If you look at the domestic performers, right? These are some of the strongest performers in domestic cricket, right? Like Ali Usman has really grinded it out before coming into the test team. Azan Awais was a scorer in the last 2 years of first class cricket.
Exactly.
So if you look at it from that perspective, is this the best domestic performing core we have? Absolutely, yes. This is the best performing core we have.
But the best performing core is so below par that we cannot.
Yeah, we can comfortably say at this point in time, Bangladesh is better than us, right?
100%. And like,
they've just drawn a series against Australia in Australia.
Exactly.
And we cannot imagine that even during our best of times.
And we have to contextualize a little bit, right? For example, England is not doing well. England is probably one of the worst big three teams, right? Not one of the worst, it is the worst big three teams. It is also going through a very tough period where they had to change Ben Stokes, where they had to bring in someone who has not been very good as a captain, which is Joe Root. Yeah. They also had to change their coach. They had to go through and still then it seemed like they had more things figured out than we did in this test match.
Not just big three. England right now is probably the fifth or sixth best team in the world. Right, because I would definitely place New Zealand and South Africa as more settled sides right now, and even you can make an argument for how settled Sri Lanka looks right now, and Bangladesh also. So with that regard, I think with the amount of change England is also going through, for them to demolish us the way they did was a bit sad.
Just think about it. The decade earlier, we were the first ranked test team with Misbah Luck and the whatever test maze at point called at that point. We won the test maze. Yeah. All of those things were It's just sad that this is what we have actually come down to. And I'll talk about a little bit about the test itself, but eventually it's our inability to understand what our problems are. It's our inability to separate the governance of the team and the team itself.
Yeah.
And there's also inability to separate the governance of the cricket board with with the Pakistan at large, or the politics of at large. It is also an ability to appoint the professionals at the let's say professionals at the level that they should be, and it's an inability to give players a safety net that they should have, so they are able to perform to a level that they are. And also it's or inability to get the right sweaters. What the fuck was those sizes? Like, why is Salman Ali Agha wearing my size, for example? Man, those sweaters look so awful. Like, I know it's last of our concern, but for me, you cannot figure out the player sizes. Like, what's like? It just shows how badly planned you are. Like, it's a side rant, but man, what was that?
No, absolutely, absolutely. But honestly, like in terms of you could think of anything going wrong. Literally nothing went right. There's, there's not a single thing that you could say that went right, right? Like
And maybe Zaim can put up the. I'll give him this graph that Atif. I'm looking at it right now. Atif Mia posted, which is essentially how Pakistan Test cricket has progressed from, let's say, 1960s to 2000, and we'll see that after 2000 we have fallen across. Like, there's no, like, we have fallen throughout. That's okay. That's understandable. But the greatest fall has actually come in the last decade. Like, the speed, the slope that you see there.
yeah, the rate of decrease in terms of the win percentage or in terms of our performance.
And the fact that Atif Mia, a fucking economist, is posting about cricket team makes you think that, oh, how bad the things are.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I think it was a little baffling to see some senior players take absolutely zero responsibility.
Yeah.
Rizwan, absolutely shambolic. Sao Shakil, what the hell was he doing? He didn't make that review in the first innings. What was Aga doing? Imam, I think he survived the most crucial spell of the first innings. Built a decent partnership with Abdullah Shafiq, and then he just throwed it away, and it was really disappointing to see.
Before I get into batting, I want to talk about our bowling, right? For example, what I was thinking essentially, and Behram and Saad are talking about this in pro sports as well, that England has what we have. England has Ollie Robinson, which is Mohammad Abbas, which is, for example, someone who can, as the stroke delivery, just keep bowling, and keep bowling at the same length, right? Although Mohammad Abbas was not impressive, but it's okay. Everyone has their bad game every now and then. But then we have three Mohammad Abbases in the team. We have Mohammad Ali, who is same kind of bowler. We have Khurram Shahzad, who's sort of, I don't know what he is exactly, but he's somewhere there.
Yeah.
And then, but they also have.
He's Dale Sin without the pace.
I remember this article that Behram has written, and his end to it was around the lines of, if Delstein is the CEO, then Khurram Shahzad, the 26-year-old intern. Like, the gulf is so much. But for example, Tung, the reason why Tung was so successful is because there was fastest bowler on display, right? And that's the kind of, like, you need someone as an enforcer, and the only enforcer currently you have, which I will call as enforcer in your team, is Ubaid Shah, who's also not as experienced, who was also not as impressive.
Honestly, he's not really an enforcer, right? I think you're just trying to make him to be an enforcer because you don't have anyone else, and which is why it was. I think there's a shout that Amar made a few episodes ago after the Bangladesh series, before the England squad came in, was the call for Shahnaz Dani.
Exactly.
Right, because he could be your enforcer. He hits the pitch hard. He can bowl those quicker ones, and I think that's something that we're dearly missing. And I sincerely hope. I would say that from the Bangladesh series, the squad was a little better in terms of what was needed. Of course, it's not going to be an end product overnight. So definitely, I think I would say in terms of selection or composition of those type of players we need, it's a step up.
And also, just look at for example, I want to talk a little bit about how your numbers can really be deceiving, right? For example, Khurram Shahzad, he was the best performing pacer. He had 3 wickets, but then if you look at his wickets came at an average of 6.09, which is a very unimpressive economy. And all his wickets came at a point where things were not, like, it was just those wickets that weren't really needed at that point, to be really honest. We had already lost the match.
Yeah.
So Khurram Shahzad, for me, I don't know what he's doing. He doesn't have the pace. He bowls some very nice delivery, but I remember this instance in the...
Just want to correct it out here. I think not an average. The economy was 6.09. Yeah.
Sorry. not the average. I meant average is the
Because 6.9 average is pretty
yeah.
great, actually.
Economy. Sorry. So my point is that how can you ball at such an economy in a test match, especially considering that you only play one format, and your 3 wickets make you look like you were the best bowler, but really you weren't even close to being the best.
Yeah, you were almost playing like an ODI.
Exactly, and worse than ODI, even six economy at ODI is not good.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Even with this fast-paced cricket, it's still not that good. But my point is that the problem is not Khurram Shahzad in isolation. The problem is you don't have anyone to complement Mohammad Abbas. And Mohammad Abbas was not amazing in this match, but he's allowed to have one bad test match.
Absolutely.
But he has no cushion. Like
No, I think the sort of bowler that you need to pair Mohammad Abbas with is someone who's aggressive and attacking. Because what Mohammad Abbas does is he allows you to build pressure. If you have someone building pressure from one end, bowling at an economy of 3, having a lot of dot balls, etc., and bowling at that tight length and line, you need someone else to bowl those attacking lengths and deliveries on the other hand with something different, so that there's a greater chance of wicket taking. If you have Khurram Shahzad or let's say Muhammad Ali, who also almost conceded 5 runs and over, bowling from the other hand, you will definitely always have the pressure that is being built up getting released, right? Because the score is always going to get ticking.
No, 100%. I also think that you didn't really think a lot about, like, I like the move that you brought in Ali Usman as the spinner, because having a spinner at this point, like in this kind of pitch, is good and it's very useful. But then, to be really honest, is Ali Usman your best spinner or is Sajid Khan your best spinner?
Honestly, I think the reason why Ali Usman is being preferred, in my opinion, is because he can bat a bit, but we're yet to see.
But really, he cannot. Like, Shahid Khan, if anything, has shown us whenever he has come that he can bat very well.
I think he's someone who's got a lot of passion and courage, right? And those are the sort of players who always end up delivering more.
And this idea of, see, Ali Usman was a best bowler. Like, he's like, had like 5 wickets, right? So I don't want to shit on the guy. He's young and all. But then again, like, he's still, like, I would still play Sajid Khan because of what he has given us so far. And I like the idea. It's a bold move. It's a right call to have a spinner in the match because of especially how Ali Usman was, like, bowling. And I understand the rationale that they pointed out, or at least was like being discussed online, is that there are not a lot of left-handers in the team. That's why Sajid Khan did not make sense. And I agree with that. But then again, you still need someone who is a personality of its own. You need someone who's bringing in the effort into the team, because that was my biggest problem in the test match. It is not the problem that we lost. The problem was, if you look at the fielding, and this is what I want to talk about a little bit, your fielding was absolutely dog shit because no one was putting in the effort. And it is not about the catch that Salman Ali Agha dropped on one for Harry Brook. It wasn't other catches that were dropped as well. For example, I think who else was dropped? Jordan Cock. He was also dropped at 37, if I remember. Then he went on to score 7, something like this.
The fielding was immature.
Man, no one was putting in the effort. Like, Mohammad Abbas, okay, he's a 36-year-old. Okay, maybe he's not putting in the effort. Khurram Shahzad did not want to touch the ball. No one wanted to, like, that's what pissing me off, that you did not look like an international team. Like, and honestly, if I'm being very honest, all of us combined that played in the cricket ground here would have put in more effort to win the match. We would have not won the match 100%, but you also lost the match by innings and 103 runs. So we would have lost by 102 runs, or 203 runs. But at least you would have shown that we're here to play. मतलब कुछ तो, like, आपको कुछ नजर तो आना चाहिए ना, that you stick on.
खेलने खुलने आए हो कि बस आप वहाँ पे यूके का ट्रिप मार के चिल करके निकल आओ?
मतलब मैं मुझे समझ नहीं आ रही है, ये किस किस्म की मेंटालिटी है जहाँ पे आपको बस एफर्ट ही नहीं डालना. यू हैव ऑलरेडी गिवन अप. एंड ओके, आई डोंट mind, I know it's very tough, but these are bare minimum things that anyone should look forward for them, right? That you at least put in the effort. Whether you lose or win is not in your hands.
100%. And even let's just move on a little bit and talk a little bit about क्या अगला मैच है तो क्या कुछ आपको चेंजेस लगते हैं हमें करने चाहिए? Do you think maybe we should first unpack the match itself or how it went? I don't think there's a lot of value.
There isn't much. When go to the stats, England had upper hand when they won the toss. I'd agree with that. It was a good toss for Joro to win. Again, not saying that they won because of the toss, but there was a good toss to win. And obviously Pakistan batted. We lost early wicket on Azan Awais in literally the first ball of the match and the series. Okay, young guy did not perform. Then Imamul Haq and Shan Masood started playing. Shan Masood also passed 20 deliveries. Then Imamullah and Abdullah Shafiq built the partnership, although I think we were around 6-4-2 or something like that, if I remember correctly, the numbers. And then we ended up, like, we had a good partnership, like 70 or 80 partnership during that Abdullah Shafiq and what do you call it, Imamullah time. But eventually we had another collapse and we bundled down at 171 in the first inning. The first innings or the only innings for England was when they went ahead and scored 409, followed by what we scored as 135. None, like, I don't see any mentions except Mohammad Rizwan. He performed for like 41 runs, which was the highest score for us. But again, he, as always, as fucking always, he gives up the wicket when he's needed the most. And he had no plan. The first delivery that Khurram Shahzad is coming to face, you are literally the only batsman we have. Khurram Shahzad does not bat at all.
Yeah.
You give away you take the single and then you start batting with Khurram Shahzad. Like, you give Khurram Shahzad the batting. Obviously, he would lose, and that's what happened. Like, Khurram Shahzad gave away his wicket. It would have been nice to see some effort. That's all that was needed.
Yeah, some heart, some fight. I think even back in the day, we used to, under Misbah Haq, yeah, there was a time that we were the best team in the world, right? But that was mostly because we were the best on subcontinent. But when you would used to go to Sina, we would see some sort of fight, right? We would see some sort of heart against England, against Australia. I think the biggest ingredient missing from this team is perhaps not a bowler who can bowl fast, or perhaps not a batter who's reliable. The biggest ingredient, in my opinion, is the fact that we don't have someone, or someone not. Rather, we don't have a team that's full of heart or courageous characters.
Exactly.
It's people who can, who might get beaten 10 times out of 10 times, right? But every time they get a beating, the next time they have the courage to go and get another beating.
Yeah, or at least lose in a way where it feels like you don't want to lose. Right now, it feels like you wanted to.
Yeah, it's like a lack of dignity, I would say, in the way we lost.
This is what the most disappointing part for me is.
Yeah.
It is not that we are the bad team. Yes, we are the worst team too. We are the lowest of the Test Championship, right? Let's be honest. We are the worst team. There's no other way to put it. Yeah. So we are the worst team, and it's okay to be the worst team. Someone has to be the last. But if the last person on the team is not even willing to put in a iota of an effort, then that's where my problem begins. You are the most funded team for Pakistan in terms of any sports. You are also probably the most paid sportsman or sports person within Pakistan.
Absolutely.
This is what you show up with. Like, this is literally what you show up with. And your boss, technically, which is the PCB chairman, is probably the second most powerful man in the country. Like, this is what you can get in terms of resources. I mean, I'm sorry, but this is unacceptable. Like, I'm not looking for a win. I'm looking for some effort from you, which is not even showing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think especially you should, like, the recent contract changes also, I think it puts a bit of more incentive for cricketers to, financial incentive also for cricketers to, come and play their heart out. And if you're not able to do that even now, then what the hell are we doing, really, right?
Man, I don't know. Like, I don't want to spend more time onto this match because I have nothing positive to talk about.
Yeah, same. It's a little disheartening, right? Like,
Exactly.
you are working, you spend some time, you spend a lot of time watching Test cricket, you spend a lot of time watching individuals.
I love the format. Like, it's sad that I love the format, and the team that I'm supporting in that format is just. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. We can talk about this, but like, it's just.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about any potential changes you would make into the second Test match. This match is at Lords. Historically, we've had a iffy record or a bad record at Lords. So, any changes you would make? Personally, I've always been a Rizwan stan, but I honestly don't see a reason why we should not play Ghazi Gori or whoever the backup keeper is for this match. Perhaps primarily because we've got nothing to lose, right? Yeah. We are out of the Test Championship. We're not going to win the series. So definitely, for me, if Babar is fit, he comes back in. I would drop Imamul Haq. I think he's had his fair share of chances. Would promote Shan Masood, Abdullah at 3 and Babar at 4. But I would also put in Ghazi Gori, primarily because there's nothing to lose. The second big change for me, or the third change, would be, in this instance, I would also want to play Ubaid Shah. I've been pretty vocal in the last few episodes that I would want to play him. Primarily because again the same argument applies, right? Like if you are grooming him for someone to be let's say a star bowler for Pakistan cricket across formats, so you play him in these matches where he gets the valuable experience. He provides something different from the one-dimensional pace attack that we've had. We've been trying for something different. So perhaps maybe give him a chance to also show what he's worth.
I mean, yeah, I guess it's honestly, I don't have a lot of changes. I feel like it's like the only change that I'll probably make. I'm always in favor of dropping Azan because just not a huge fan.
Yeah.
So if you want to drop him and bring in the backup wicket keeper, all for it. But yes, there's one change. I think Khurram Shahzad sits out for me, and Ubecha comes in. And I know they're not like for like replacement. One is a new ball bowler, one is an enforcer. But I can no longer see Khurram Shahzad because he was absolutely dog shit. Like I remember at this some point where Salman Ali Aga and all the team were telling him to ball offside because there were 7 to 8 fielders on the offside, and then there was only 2 to 3 fielders on the leg side. For 3 continuous delivery, he kept bowling on the leg side, and he went for 3 fours. That's not the kind of thing that you expect. And then in fielding, I didn't see the entire test match ball by ball, but in fielding I saw the highlights. And then in fielding he was not putting in the effort to dive or stop the ball, and that he let the ball go. So I don't want to see him play again. That's to be really honest. At least not now. I'm not saying call curtains on him, but
Honestly, even beyond this particular match or beyond this test series, I think the 4 to 5 players that are on the X for me are Imam, Rizwan, Saud Shakil, even Khurram Shahzad. I'm not really happy with these individuals who are your senior players but are not stepping up. I would much rather lose with 2 19-year-old failing like Azan Awais.
and that's the reason why we didn't criticize him, right? Even though he scored a duck and 5 or 6 runs, but we don't want to say drop him because yes, he came to the scene after playing a lot in the domestic side.
Yeah, he's your top scorer in the last 2 years of first class cricket.
So we don't want to drop him. Give him the time, let him cook, give him all that he needs, but he needs some support. And he can only groom if he sees leaders and if he sees people in his team that he can learn from. There would have been no Virat Kohli if Sachin Tendulkar did not perform to the level he would have seen. I don't think there'll be any Shubman Gill or Abhishek Sharma or anyone if they did not have Virat Kohli. To be very honest. So he also needs that inspiration. Yes, Babar is the only. No matter how much we criticize him, he's the only guy who has numbers.
He's the only one in the current team who can say that I've achieved something, right?
Exactly. He's the only one in the current team, and he's the only one in the team that can say, I know how to put a bat on ball. Or at least one thing in Babar, even though no matter how much you criticize him, he doesn't give up most of the time. Yeah, he has given up on some of the time, but he doesn't give most of the time. He's still trying to fight. He's like, okay, let's do this, let's do that. But regardless of that, I think it's Azan Awais' chance to be in the team as long as he wants to. Not as long as he wants to, but like for a foreseeable future.
Yeah.
And even if he does not perform as well, that's okay for me.
Honestly, yeah, if you're giving Imam 8 9 matches to prove his worth, then definitely Azan needs to get a few more opportunities, and he's done fairly okay. He's not been great, but he's not been bad either, right? It's not like he's putting zeros every match. He scored 100 in Bangladesh. He scored a 50 in West Indies. Maybe in England in the next couple of matches. Let's see.
And who do you bring in like, and where does Babar come in? Who do you drop in?
Imamul Haq, 100% for me.
And then you move Shan Masud as an opener?
Yeah. That's where I'm inclining towards, because I think Shan also opened
Yeah, he did.
in West Indies, right?
Yeah, he did none of the match, I think. So it's Azan, Shan Masood, and then
Abdullah, Babar, Saud, unfortunately, Ghazi, or whoever the backup keeper is, Aga. That's the way I'm going.
And then Ali, do you replace Ali Usman with Sajid Khan if you want to play one spinner?
Honestly, I think I agree with the right-handed, left-handed logic that sits out there. I think that Ali Usman's done no harm, really. He was the only decent bowler. He picked up 5 wickets. So I'll give him another shot. But if we were to play 2 spinners, which is of course not going to happen, I would play Sajid also. But right now, Ali Usman makes more sense.
Okay. And then you have Ubaid Shah, Mohammad Abbas, Mohammad Ali.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Okay, I agree with that. I don't have anyone else that would replace these guys.
Yeah.
The only change I'll probably make is Ali Usman with Sajid Khan.
Yeah.
The reason for that is I feel like this left and right thing is overrated thing in cricket. I think if you're a good bowler, doesn't matter if you're bowling to left-handed or right-handed. Yes, data could give you some analysis as to who you are better against. but that doesn't mean you cannot get a right-handed batsman or left-handed batsman out. And purely on the performance that we have seen from Sajid Khan, I feel like he deserves the shot to be.
Absolutely, I think he's been one of our better. I think he's going to actually top 3 cricketers for Pakistan in Test cricket over the last couple of years.
And I think he's our best. He's probably our second best bowler in the squad after Mohammad Abbas.
Absolutely, I agree with that as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's the best spinner and second best bowler, so I don't see the reason why to drop him. And I'm sorry if it feels like we are low on energy. I just feel like it's a
very emotionally draining experience to
come and talk about the same
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Like since we started the podcast, this is what, episode 10, 11, whatever the episode.
Yeah, I think 9, 10, 11, maybe that. Yeah.
It's and it's literally the same podcast we have been hearing. Like no matter what series you talk about.
Yeah, it's the same thing. So it's a little repetitive in that way.
Yeah.
We apologize if you feel like we are low on energy.
Because we are.
We are. I think it's a draining experience, but I think let's maybe call it a day and hope that maybe the next time we come on the follow on, we'll have something better to talk about, something more positive to talk about.
And if I'm being honest, like today is Sunday, the 23rd of August, and technically, if we had played 5 days of a test match, the test match should have ended on Friday. The test match was technically finished in 2 days. Like it's like that's how bad we were. Like I would say it technically finished on 2.5 days, but only because there was rain on the second day. But yeah, I think that's about it. Let us know what you think. I'll drop down your comments as to how we can go from here in terms of not just our performance as podcasters, but also more importantly, Pakistan cricket.
Yeah, and things that you want us to talk about. We were primarily been very Pakistani focused up till now.
Yeah.
If you want us to talk about
someone else as well.
yeah, I think we're also working towards bringing some guests, some people who are maybe in cricket one way or another way, play cricket or are in cricket or in support staff or work with organizations that are into cricket. So maybe that's something that we'll definitely look into. But for now, I think do follow on and see you guys next.
See you guys. Take care. Bye bye.